Hey everybody and welcome back to Jay's Retro Reactions. Today we're recording the first episode of Season 2 of Mr. In-Between. Last week we finished Season 1 with episodes 5 and 6, where Ray got kidnapped by two hitmen, kidnapped by two car thieves, dropped off in a woods by a garage chop shop guy, recaptured by the hitman, and ended up killing all of Davaros's gang. So a lot went on in just those two episodes, but very, very funny and very entertaining. So if you haven't seen those guys, go and check out Season 1, Episodes 5 and 6. I'm really excited actually for Season 2 because if Season 1 is anything to go by, each episode got better and better in terms of Ray's story and the comedy and the crime. So it'd be interesting to see where Season 2 takes us. What more can Gary get up to as well, Ray's best friend, because he's a bit of a nutball. And guys, if I can ask a favour, over 97% of my viewers are not subscribed. So please subscribe and hit the like button and share the video. It's a free and easy way to support your least favourite channel, right? Also, if you're interested in watching the full-length reactions, which are uncut and not edited, you can check out my Patreon link below. It costs $5 a month, and for that you get at least 4 episodes a month, Patreon exclusives, which at the moment the two picks are Band of Brothers and Battlestar Galactica. But Battlestar Galactica 2006 won't be starting until I finish Band of Brothers. And you also get at least 2 movies a month. So what more can you ask for? Anyways, enough of me talking, and let's get on with the show.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring.
Go on, man.
Good stretch, man.
No worries. I'll catch up with you next week.
Yeah.
I used to do a bit of boxing when I was younger, and I was actually terrible at it. It was one of the few sports I was terrible, but I had the worst combination of being terrible. I could get hit all day. It was kind of like Homer Simpson, if you ever seen that episode where Homer almost wins the heavyweight title of the world because he'd just tire out the boxers by being punched all the time and he could take it. That was similar to me. Oh, Ray's being embarrassed by this young girl. She's choking him out, man. She literally choked him out. How embarrassing for Ray.
You okay, old man? Yep. Should have tapped.
No shit.
Oh, poor Ray. He's probably at that 40-ish age where these things start to happen. You start losing to younger and younger people, and it's so embarrassing at first. Till you accept that you're just getting older.
I feel my knee. I feel fat. Do you think they feel fat?
Not really.
Because when you say not really, it kind of sounds like they are fat.
This is why I hate having conversations with women. They come up with the most insane things like my knees are fat or my ankles are fat, and then whatever you say, it's wrong. You can't win, lads.
Are you right?
That's when you know you're comfortable in a relationship, when you're able to fart in front of each other and you don't care. So for any of you who are newly dating, that's when you gauge you're okay and you're going to be going long term.
You should be happy I fart in front of you.
Why should I be happy?
Well, I only fart in front of people I'm comfortable with.
Thank you, Ray.
If I felt comfortable taking a shit on your chest, does it mean I should do it?
Ha! Ray's kinky.
Go for it.
Don't dare me, pal.
I'm daring you.
He's calling her bluff. Well played, Ray.
You're an idiot.
Although I would say his friend Gary is probably into this stuff, so you might need to give Gary a call if she really wants to do it.
Where you going?
I'd have a wee.
You weed half an hour ago.
Thanks for keeping score.
Oh, is she pregnant? Frequent urination is a sign of that. I do like Ray and Ellie's relationship. It's very realistic in how these things play out in real life.
What's wrong?
There's a girl at school and she's mean to me all the time.
What's she doing?
Poor Brit's getting bullied.
Mwah, love ya.
Bye, love you.
Have a good day.
For anyone out there who advises not hitting bullies back, you absolutely do not know what you're talking about. I was attempted to be bullied in secondary school and I literally took on 5-6 lads. Lost, but I kept doing it and they kept getting hurt and eventually they gave up. But the lads who never fought back were still being bullied 6 years later and their lives were a misery.
And why don't you like her going out without you?
No, well, I just don't.
So Ray is still going to his anger management group. I'm just wondering, Is it still court mandated, or has he found it useful and is going voluntarily?
My missus looked like that, I'd never let her leave the house.
Okay, thank you, Carlo.
Great. These guys giving the wrong advice to this possessive guy.
How many blokes has she slept with?
Ray,
It's all right. Like 30, 40.
No wonder you don't trust her, man.
Exactly, that's a high number, man. Ray isn't helping either, but he is talking a bit of reality.
how about you keep your misogyny to yourself?
Oh, what?
He doesn't despise women.
I don't despise women. I got a girlfriend, I got a daughter.
Exactly, Councillor Guy.
Plenty of history's great misogynists have had daughters and girlfriends, Ray.
Like who?
Yeah, call about. Name one, dude. Name one.
Name one.
Thank you, Ray.
I think we should move on.
I presume by that interaction that Ray is still going there through the court mandate.
Brett! What are you doing? Are you going to come and have some tea or what?
She's still being bullied, poor kid.
Who put that up there? Who did that?
Taylor.
In fairness, I didn't have to deal with social media bullying. When I went home from school when I was a kid, that was the end of it. They weren't going to call to your house or anything. And that's why I'm kind of against kids getting smartphones too young or access to the internet unsupervised too young, because they can be got at 24/7 like this.
If people don't respect you, that's when you make them fear you.
I am too like Ray for my own good, because that's exactly what I said earlier.
See, if people don't respect you and you still treat them with respect, then you're a doormat.
Again, I find myself agreeing with Ray like I do every episode. I think I need to see a shrink or something. This is too close to comfort, and I'm not a hitman. But perhaps I should have been.
I'm going to take care of this problem for you, okay? As Taylor, look at me, darling. She's not going to bother you again.
Fair play, Ray. Good dad, man. Good dad. Here's Gary. One of my favourite characters. After Ray. What are they watching? Aussie Rules? As I said in the last reaction, if you haven't checked out International Rules, Best of Aussie Rules against Best of Irish Gaelic Football, honestly do. It's a mixture of wrestling and killing. It's brilliant.
Oh, shit.
What, his Russian wife is just texting him about the internet being slow? He's at a game. What does she expect him to do?
Every day I'm jerking off. Twice a day sometimes. I'm serious.
Gary has the serious porn addiction. Who would have guessed?
Why don't you pick the password?
Because if I know the password, I'll just unblock it. But if you ask me, I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, to stop his porn addiction, Gary wants Ray to mind his internet password and not tell him what it is, so he can't get onto the internet to fulfill his porn addiction. That's going to work out well.
Have you got an address?
Who's that?
So he's hunting down the parents of that kid Taylor, who's bullying Britt.
Freddie sent me over.
No, it's a Freddy job. It's a hitman job.
Freddie sent you? Why?
You want to leave me in, mate, or what?
What's he want? I don't know.
These seem like two geniuses he's dealing with again.
So, Freddie's been trying to call you.
Man, we'd run out of credit, eh? Sorry, man.
So what's going on? These two look like junkies and they probably robbed drugs on Freddy or something?
Job's done.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to see?
I get it. Freddy used these two junkies to do a hit for him on the cheap because he owes Ray money, and now they've probably botched the job.
We brought him back here. But as soon as it gets dark, we're going to go get rid of him.
Because they're keeping the body in the house, in the garage. Sorry, in the garage of the house.
Hey, what's the car? Well, when did you steal it?
Oh, it's my car.
It's our car.
In their own car. Geniuses, as I said.
They've grabbed this guy, they've killed him, whoever he was.
And now they've got him in the boot of their car.
Settle down, will you, mate?
Yeah, Ray is calling out Freddy on this crap, hiring the two junkies to do jobs that he should be doing professionally.
I mean, they charge a quarter what you do, all right? And I mean,
I'm having a bad week this week.
Cost saving, I knew it.
Dig a hole.
put the dead guy in and put the other two in with him. How much is this going to cost me?
90.
Freddy, due to his cost saving, has now ended up spending more money because Ray's going to charge him through the hole, and dead right.
Yeah, deal.
I don't want to wait 6 months for my money either.
Yeah, I know. You'll have the money next week.
And also, 3 people are going to end up dead instead of 1 due to Freddy's cheap behaviour.
You haggle over every cent you got to pay me, right?
And then you get into the casino, you blow 100
Grand like it's nothing.
So is that why Freddy's always broke? He's got a gambling addiction. Makes sense, actually. Oh, lads, give the bloody crack a rest while you have a hitman in your house sent from the gang boss.
I'm gonna get a car.
Or just use ours, mate.
Can't use yours.
Why not?
Because you've got a dead body stinking the place up in the boot of the car, knobheads. So if I was right here, I'd get the two guys to move the body, I'd get them to dig a big hole, and then plug them so that they fall into the hole, and then just roll the other dead body into it and get my 65k. Without doing really any work.
How do you get on with the ex?
Oh, not too bad. She's remarried, but yeah, we get on.
And here we see that sociopathic behaviour from Ray again. He's about to kill these two guys, and he can have a conversation again about normal life, and it doesn't bother him.
I got a daughter. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
This guy's showing him his kids' photos and everything, but nothing in Ray. No feeling, nothing.
Just need to get off the drugs, man.
Yeah, tell me about it, bro. I'm not cut out for this shit, eh? This is not me. Like, no offense, eh?
This guy regrets doing the hit. He just realizes he did it for drug money, but it's not really who he is. Which is probably most people, to be honest.
I got a bro as well, man. Yeah, he's back in Perth.
Yeah.
He's a fucking muso, man.
You know how I said I was like Ray? I'm not, because, and I'm sure this scene is done deliberately like this. This guy's really nice. I feel really bad for him. He's just a guy struggling with addiction, and Ray's gonna clip him. I couldn't do that. I honestly couldn't. For money? No. Defense of my country, something like that? Yeah. There's a moral purpose behind it, but this, for money? Nothing. Money is not that important to me, to be honest. Never has been.
Sorry about that. Alright, good one, buddy.
Yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
So this other dude has pulled a gun on Ray, bad mistake.
Hey, no, you're not the boss of me, okay? What the fuck?
Ray crashed the car, put him through the windscreen. Smart move, Ray. And hopefully this is a stolen car in case any cops turn up. I presume it is. Ray'd be smart enough to use the stolen car, wouldn't he?
Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection. Neither be silly about love.
He's not going to end up having to kill the other guy. His neck got slashed by glass from passenger window, it looks like.
Strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with imagining.
At least he let him hold his hand while he was dying. Small bit of comfort in these last moments.
You have a right to be here.
Oh, was that blood? It looked like blood spraying out of his mouth when he coughed there. Has he got a pneumothorax from the car impact?
Whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations, in the noisy confusion of...
And the petrol/diesel tank is ruptured. Okay, so he's probably going to make sure the other guy's dead, then drag him up with the car to put him with the other two bodies, the one in the boot, the one on the passenger side, set the car on fire.
Be careful. Strive to be happy.
Okay, he didn't even check if the other guy was dead. Fair enough.
You can see the riding on the pavement. Young kids, they're growing up in basements.
Hey guys, welcome back. So that's the end of episode 1 of season 2. So what did we see in this episode? We seen Ray coming to terms that he's getting older when a young girl basically tapped him or choked him out in the boxing gym. We seen Freddy trying to cut corners because he owes Ray money and can't afford his hitman fees. So he got 2 junkies, but of course they botched up because they're junkies. And Ray have to take them out and cost him Freddy 65 grand anyway. We also seen, so that's the criminal side, but we also seen the kind of human side of him again, this whole Mr. In-Between thing, which of course we're going to see a lot of. We seen, looking after Britt, she's getting bullied and he's going to help her sort it out. And we also seen him trying to help Gary, his friend, who he does a lot for, in fairness, right? He's always there for him because Gary's struggling with his porn addiction. Surprise, surprise. One thing that made me really uncomfortable, and again I presume, I said it in commentary, I presume the scene was designed to do this deliberately, was you had that poor junkie showing Ray pictures of his daughter, talking about his struggle with his addiction, talking about how he wants to get clean but can't, talking about even though he killed this guy, it was his first job and he never wants to do it again, he's not cut out for it, it was only the drugs and drug money that he did it for. And then Ray casually engaging in conversation with them, being cold and clinical, a sociopath as I said, and knowing he was going to kill this guy and no emotion there, nothing, just nothing, no twinge of feeling. That Yeah, that made me uncomfortable, right? And as I said, I presume it was designed that way to do that. But yeah, a good start to season 2. Not so much comedy in this episode. There was a more emphasis on the drama. I do like that whole relationship scene we had with Ali and Ray. As I said, it's very realistic, and it's probably what has happened to a lot of us in our own relationships. You know, that piece where you're starting to get comfortable with each other and start doing things you wouldn't have done in the dates, etc. So I do like that, and I do like the realism it has. It makes that relationship feel tangible and something that we all probably experience in our time. Well, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so below. If you want to check out the full-length reactions where there's no cuts or commentary, etc., and all my comments are unedited, so on, please check out my Patreon link. Please like and share the video as well if you enjoyed watching it. And I tell you what, guys, I'll see you next time for episode 2 of season 2. In the meantime, God bless, take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and bye for now.